Hello everybody and welcome. This is going to be the first video of our Foundations series. And the purpose of this series is for you to deepen your practice in yoga. So many of us get into these spaces through the physical world, through materialistic means. And I want to invite you to deepen your practice, essentially, and that is the purpose of these teachings. So this class is going to be called Creating Space, and I'm going to dive deeper into the Dharma talk, but it'll kind of go from there. After we learn to create space to purge in our physical reality, we'll then have room to bring in more of what's next. And so we'll go into a class called Finding Center, and then make our way through the yamas, the niyamas, the 8 limbs of yoga. And it's all structured in a way to really support and elevate your practice and take things to the next level. So with that being said, let's jump right in. Finding your mat and 2 blocks, 2 tennis balls. This is the equipment I'll ask you to grab. So go ahead and pause me if need be and grab those items. Making our way onto the ground, we're going to start in a chest opener while I explain the importance of creating space. So one of your blocks, you're going to be lying on your back, but I'm just going to show you while I'm in a sit up above a position so you can see clearly. We'll be laying right here at the base of your cranium, right where the neck ends and the head sort of begins. And the other one will be right between the shoulder blades. Forgive my demo. Yes, about right there. I'm going to lie and come into that. You can see what it looks like on the ground. Right here, placing it on the shoulder blades, and then making my way into that on my head. Arms coming out to the side, and just enjoying this opening in the chest. Feet rooted to the earth, knees knocked together. Arms can be lying on the side, they can be out in a T. They can be up above the head in sort of a cactus. Take whatever's the most releasing to you and start creating some space in the chest. Deep inhale through the nose into the belly, and slow releasing exhale. It is so easy to take on too much by mistake. Whether it be materialistic goods, being bombarded by ads, people, content, tasks, etc. We are almost always constantly being bombarded with new information, whether we realize it or not. Oftentimes you'll notice your outer world reflecting what's going on in your inner world. Some examples into that. When you feel on top of things and like you're killing it, generally your outward space reflects this. Things are looking organized, neat, tidy, you know where to find things. When we're feeling stressed and chaotic, you might notice your surroundings are generally a little bit stressful and a little bit chaotic. And you might realize when you're dropped into flow and you're neither in this hustle on top of things or this chaos, but you're surrendered, present, and ritualizing your life, your outer world reflects it. You're taking the time to light candles, to put the lotion on the skin, right? And how do we get to these states of more space is softening and creating more space intentionally. A lot of people don't know where to start when they are in a state of, let's call it discontentment. And it can feel kind of like you just want to give up. Maybe they just want to watch TV and disassociate, or they sit there in their feelings of discontentment and kind of go into the poor me's. But there is things we can do to create space, and not just in the physical, although that is where I personally like to start. Like, I'm in a new chapter of life right now where my kids are going back to school, and my youngest is starting kindergarten. So for the last 5 years, I've been had like little daycares here and there, but never like full 5 days a week of childcare so that I can participate in the world of earning, right? So for me, the creating of the space needs to be done before I dive into the creative endeavors of work like this. Like, I purge the house, scrub the baseboards, like go into the closets and pull things out. But we're today in yoga going to be talking about the things we can do within our body. So I invite you to, again, just take a break from everything I just said and deep clearing breath. And exhale, let it go. One more time, slow and deep into the belly, hold at the top. Exhale with a sigh, let it go. Ha! And now notice, where in your body do you store tension? Maybe it's in the gut. Maybe it's in your shoulders. The weight of the world's on your shoulders. Maybe it's deep in the chest. Wherever that place is, notice it, and then bring attention to what it is that is alive for you right now. What is a sticky feeling you've experienced as of recently that you wish to bring a little bit of clearing to? And imagine this spot, let's bring color to it, as black and dense. And with each inhale, we shed a little bit more light, a little bit more bright energy into it and throughout the body. And on our exhale, comes out as black smoke. And we will go through a meditation later on in the practice where we'll really get into clearing that. But I just wanted to bring that color in. So back to the spot, can you sit with that sticky energy? Yes, sending it breath, but allowing it to ruminate and allowing it to evolve. Maybe you're feeling angry right now, and we're going to slowly remove the blocks and make our way to a comfortable seat. Keeping the eyes closed, staying with that feeling. Maybe it's anger and we're letting out a little bit of a no one can see you. Make some noises. Maybe it's sadness and you're like, oh, like let the feeling be, express it. We're going to go into the next stage. So after we feel something, we're going to want to start to express it. And then after that, we'll head into the next stage, which is emoting. So getting into the feeling and moving into the expressing. Wherever that area is, circles in that part of the body. And begin. For me, it's in the chest, the back of the chest. So these peanut butter scoops is help bringing some release. And for me, it's almost a frustration. So like a, that is the sound that will bring the most release for me. And switching directions, whatever way you were bringing movement into that space that's stickiest for you, and allowing it to be, allowing it to clear, allowing it to take up space so it feels seen and it feels heard and it can be released. Centering a little bit. Gently fluttering the eyes open as we move into our practice, keeping this intention throughout the entire thing so it can express. So once we clear it, there is room for feelings we want to feel. And notice, remembering that without Without the lows, you can't feel the highs. And with that said, tilting left ear to left shoulder, left arm reaches up overhead and grabs onto right ear. A little bit of a pull, creating space in the right side of the neck. Deep inhale. And exhale, let it go vocally. Tilting the head slightly forward, keeping the hand placement where it is, or slightly towards the back of the head and pulling downward, releasing the back of the neck. Deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. Bringing the head forward, both arms come up now, head down to center, and a little bit of a pull towards the middle. Making sure you're still long in the spine. And release. Clear and inhale. Releasing, exhale, beautiful. From here, right ear drops to right shoulder, left arm sweeps up overhead, grabbing onto left ear to right shoulder, feeling the stretch in the side of the neck. Noticing the difference between the two sides. Did one hold more tension than the other? Is one experiencing more release than the other? And on your next inhale, slowly dropping the head slightly forward. That hand drops more towards the back of the cranium. And slight pull down, feeling the stretch in the left side of the back neck. Deep inhale. And vocal exhale, let it go. Head comes to center, engaging both arms now to the back of the cranium, lengthening through the spine, and on the exhale, deepening that stretch in the back of the neck. Beautiful. From here, feel that momentarily. Arriving in center. And from here, straightening our legs out in front of us. Slight bend in the knees. Always, we never want to lock through the joints. This is how the life force energy flows from within us. This keeps the prana moving. The life force energy throws through the rivers of the body called the vayus. And the vayus have these different points called meridians and nadis, and these are our energy centers. And so when we allow the energy to flow fluidly by keeping our joints loose, we're able to drop into our subtle energy body and feel what's really happening for us. So deep inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, seated forward fold. Feet are engaged, grabbing onto the feet, lengthening through the spine, and arrive. Maybe taking a little bit of movement through the neck. Maybe pedaling it out through the legs. Sending an inhale into that center spot where you're creating space, and exhale, taking some release. Inhale to come back up to a seat, and exhale, right foot comes to the other side of left knee, right hand comes behind the body, and left arm over right knee. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. Gaze is towards the back of the right shoulder. Some hygiene for our spine. And making our way back to center. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, left foot comes over right knee. Left hand drops behind the body. right elbow to left knee, gaze is over the left shoulder. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, twist even deeper. Wringing out vertebrae. And making our way back to center. From here, we're going to take a butterfly pose. So bringing the soles of the feet together, inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, pressing the knees towards the earth, feeling the stretch in the inner thighs, near the groin. We store so much tension in the hips, just giving that a moment, creating space here as well. From here, we're going to kick it up a little bit, okay? Making our way to hands and knees and giving that energy a chance to fully express itself. Gently as we begin. Inhale, heart rises towards the sky for cow pose. And exhale, curving inwards, gaze towards the front of the thighs for cat. Now allowing this to be fluid within your body. Maybe you're barreling the hips as everyone else is making their way into cow. And taking it in the other direction when we would normally be taking our cat. Maybe you're barreling the rib cage, scooping out every drop of that peanut butter jar and taking it in the other direction this time. Let it be fluid. Perhaps it's a child's pose, cobra concoction. You're beginning to release, and if you're at home, make some noise. Allowing for this to exit your body. From here, engaging the toes and sending the hips up and back into our first downward facing dog of the practice. Shoulders are away from the ears, fingertips pointed forwards. Inhale to step the feet together. Exhale, right foot rises, feet are engaged. Inhale. Exhale, bringing it down to plank. Foot stays engaged. Inhale collectively. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, pump. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, pump. Exhale, crunch on your own. And center, plank, hold. Allowing yourself to go here. Allowing yourself to embody this discomfort and sitting with it. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. This time, left foot rises. Feet are engaged, lowering to plank. Inhale, pump. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, pump. Exhale, crunch on your own. And 3, and 2, and 1. Dropping the knees, sending the hips back. Child's pose. Take a moment to notice the space that you've created. You're already probably feeling a little bit lighter. And it doesn't end here, love. Rising back to our tabletop position. A few fluid movements of your own for 2 cycles of breath. And on your next exhale, hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Stepping the feet together. Right foot rises into 3-legged down dog. This time we open up the hip. Flip your dog if it's within your practice, and if not, stay here. Flipping my dog is not within my practice. It does not feel good in my body, but I know a lot of people love it. Might be able to get a little bit further if you rise low belly strong, in and up. Shoulders away from the ears, taking the nod of the head. Maybe a no with the head. And left foot up, feet are engaged, opening up the hip to the other side, and possibly flipping the dog. Coming onto tented fingers on the left hand. And back to center, making our way to plank position. Option to use the knees and lower all the way to the mat. Or since this is the engaging part of the practice, chaturanga, upward facing dog or baby cobra. And sending the hips up and back into our downward facing dog. From here, one more time, three-legged down dog on the right side as you inhale. And exhale, sending that foot through towards the right thumb and coming up to rise into our high lunge. Pivoting the back foot, warrior one. Opening to a T, gazes over the front fingers for our warrior two. Inhale. And exhale, flipping our warrior. Cartwheeling the arms forward, planting them on the inside of the right foot, dropping the back knee, and inhale to rise into a low lunge. Core is engaged, and dropping the hips forward, feeling the stretch in the left front calf. And sending the hips back. Hanumanasana, half split. Ardha Hanumanasana. Hanumanasana is full split. Ardha Hanumanasana. Hobda. That was a tough one. And two handprints forward as we make our way back towards the front and heel toe that right foot to the outside of the mat for a lizard pose. Option to stay right here. Option to take right hand and press it into right knee. Option to come down on blocks and really experience some release coming down to the forearms. And maybe you're like an experienced, seasoned yogi and you want to remove the blocks completely and surrender to the earth. Making our way back up. Sending the foot back. Child's pose. Child's pose is a huge resting pose for me. It just feels so good. If this is not the case for you, to slowly be able to relax deeper and deeper, I would recommend folding up a blanket and putting it on top of the feet so the hips can rest on it. And then each time try unfolding it a layer until eventually someday, years from now, you're comfy in a regular child's pose. And that's not even to say more experienced than somebody else, because we all hold our tension in different places. So coming back up, tabletop position, sending the hips up and back as you tuck the toes for downward facing dog. Stepping the feet together, three-legged down dog on the left. Inhale. Exhale, sending that foot inside towards the right thumb. Inhale to rise into our high lunge. And exhale to pivot the back foot for warrior one. Inhale as you cartwheel the arms open into warrior two. Gaze over the front fingertips. And exhale, reverse warrior. Deep inhale. And exhale, cartwheeling the arms forward inside of that left foot, dropping the back knee. Inhale to rise into our low lunge, engaging the core. And exhale, Ardha Hanumanasana, half split, straightening the front leg, sending the hips back, palms grace the earth. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. And exhale to press even deeper into your half split. On the next inhale, we'll go 2 palm prints at a time, making our way towards the front of the mat. Option to stay here. Option to use left hand to press into left knee. Option to come onto the forearms on blocks. Option to go all the way down to the mat. Breathe into this and find some release. Coming back up onto your hands, removing the blocks, sending the hips back. Third eye braces the mat, child's pose. Honoring the active part of your practice. And if there's anything else that needs to come through before you move into settling into this more spacious opening so that you can experience deep release, take it now. And just so that you don't feel funny if you do that. Maybe you're good. Please stay in child's pose if you're like, I have released Mel. But if you're like, I need more, let's just do it together. Release. There you go. Whatever you did was not weirder than that, friend. All right, making our way onto our backs. Getting your tennis balls, and we're gonna release our fascia today. So, inserting the balls right near that big bone, right under where the neck connects to the shoulders. And if this is enough for you, surrendering the spine towards the earth, feet plant, knees knocked together. But if you're like me and this is your like tension spot and it's complete numbness and you feel nothing this way, sending a block on the second highest height under the hips. Arms come up above the head, and now surrender spine to earth. You should be able to feel something here. Deep collective inhale. Exhale, melt into those tennis balls. Two more rounds of breath in this spot. And on your next exhale, removing the block from the hips, moving the balls down to right underneath your shoulder blades. Surrender the spine to the earth. And melt into the tennis balls. Final spot down by the hips. Surrender the spot. Surrender the spine to the earth. Surrender the spot. I know I'm melting now. And breathe into that release. From here, I invite you to remove the tennis balls. Straighten the legs. Palms facing up. Deep cleansing inhale. Exhale, let it go. Now energetically declare a protection bubble around yourself. within this bubble arises cleansing sacred waters in the form of a fresh water waterfall in the middle of the forest, and no one is there but you. You walk up to the waterfall and you feel the power before even touching it. You strip down to the form you were born here in, and you immerse yourself head first under the waterfall, right here, right now. You begin to feel from head to toe like a wave is washing away all that no longer serves you, from head to toe, from crown to root. And it's clearing and giving into the sacred waters, giving into Mama Gaia. And you start to feel that this thing is beginning to clear. It might not be completely clear this time. It may take multiple times, but it is beginning to shift. And paying attention to that downward flow of energy, that downward stream of water, and taking your mind away from the visual of the waterfall and allowing yourself to see if you can still feel that downward push of energy, of clearing. And taking a moment in that, in silence. Bringing awareness to the fact that you now have the tools to embody, emote, and express your feelings in a safe way, to clear space for what needs to come through, for what you're growing into in one of the most profound ways possible. Bringing movement into the fingers and the toes, and slowly arriving back in the body in your own time and in your own way, rolling onto one side, acknowledging the rebirth, the space you've created, and making your way up to a seat. I extend the invitation to meet yourself where you're at. Option A, delete your trash can in your email. Option B, clean out your entire phone. Option C, full body purge. Clean out your car, clean out your house, scrub your baseboards, clean out your closet, purge your phone, and land into this next season that we're coming into autumn, into harvest, savoring these last days of summer. And a deep inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to the third eye, acknowledging your light. Inhale, arms up overhead, hands to prayer. Exhale, hands to the back of your heart, acknowledging your shadow. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands hands in prayer to heart center. The light in me acknowledges the light in all of you. Thank you for joining me today. And I hope to see you in the next part of this series, Finding Center. Namaste.